All right, hello again, everybody. Let's talk today about creating speed, clubhead speed. We all want to hit the ball further. It's really fun, right? Not sure it's going to help you reduce your scores, by the way, as much as, say, working on your short game. Just throwing that out there before I get into this. But there is some value in it, and certainly we can reduce a stroke or two. I will say, for you better players out there, you competitive players, this is going to probably have a little bit more value because it gives you that competitive edge to hit a wedge into a green when the guy you're playing against is maybe hitting like an 8-iron or so. So, you want to hit it further. What you need to learn, and what the phrase I want you to remember here, the term, the truth, is something called kinematic sequence. You may have already heard of that. You may already know that it means ground up rotation, meaning I start with my lower body, my hips, they turn first towards the target, followed by my upper body, followed by my hands and club head. But what I think is underappreciated about this whole sequence is the fact that things also slow down in that process. So as my hips go first, well, they reach a desired point where essentially they can't turn anymore, and then they slow down. And then my upper body does the same thing and follows. My upper body then reaches a desired point where they can't go any further because my hands are back here. And so then they slow down. And then my hands and club head finally come through. Well, the very act of my hips going hard and then slowing down, and then my shoulders going hard and then slowing down, they create wave-like acceleration effects on the club head itself so that the club head can travel at its maximum speed. Okay? Imagine an object traveling along in space here, illustrated by my right hand. Okay? Now, that speed of that object relative to another object, which is going to be my left hand here, if they're traveling at about the same speed here, I'm going to put object B slightly slower. You know, the object A is going to look a little bit faster to object B, without a doubt. But if I learn to really slow down object B down a certain point, I'm going to put this point here as my center to illustrate impact, then object A looks very fast relative to where object B is standing, if object B is slowing down to an almost stop. That is essentially what the kinematic sequence is in golf. Okay? So, here's an alignment stick. Alignment sticks have so many uses in our game, and they are so helpful. I really wish I saw more people using them on the range. But here's another use for one. Okay? So, when we load a club and we start the kinematic sequence, the club itself starts to look like this, okay? As the head starts to lag behind the handle, where we're gripping it, right? There is a weight on the end where the club head is, and this little bit of bend starts to happen. Now, I'm using alignment sticks so I can easily illustrate this. And I think some of us know that. We know the word lag, but what we don't recognize is that the acceleration of the club head itself comes from things unlagging, okay? Now as I flick that stick down, and you can't see it here in real time, at the bottom, it actually goes this way, and it unlags, and actually the club head starts to beat the handle. So if you look at impact positions of world-class players, you will see at impact the club is not on some type of straight line at impact. It's actually bending. It's bending this way. It looks like this ever so slightly into impact. And that little bit of unlagging look is what allows for maximum club head acceleration. Okay? It's just physics, people. But we can recreate something that is hard to understand like physics through drills and fields. And here is that drill. I want you to take an alignment stick, make sure you grip it tight, okay? I'm going to put a grip on this thing, I think, pretty soon because I'm worried it's going to fly out of my hand. But I want you to learn how to get to the top of your backswing here, and I want you to intentionally try and stop your hands when they get to about your belt height area. And I want you to let your lower body simultaneously go as hard as you can towards the target and unwind things. And when that happens, you're going to hear a ton of whip an unwinding of the distal end of this alignment stick here. And the reason I want you to use an alignment stick is because it can bend, because you can really feel it fling forward. And after you do this a few times, I want you to grab your club. And I want you to take that feel you just created and put it into the back of a golf ball. Now, what you're going to find in your initial swings when you do this is your lower body's really going to go. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. That's a 5-iron for me. My 5-iron is typically about 192 to 195 carry. That ball just carried 211, okay? If that's not proof in the pudding, folks, I don't know what is. I don't know what that ran out to, but I can tell you carry there just jumped hard for me just by creating that feel of, okay, I'm gonna unlag this and use my lower body to do it. So, awesome drill. Give it a shot, folks. I think you're gonna be really excited by the results, okay? And again, you know, hitting the ball far, really fun. Is it the most important thing? No, it certainly is not. But if you want to have fun, you know, then this is a great drill and a great route to pursue, okay? Kinematic sequence, people. Looking forward to sharing more information and more videos with y'all and helping you get better. Cheers.